Welcome back, everybody. So we will start from what we stopped last week. We've been learning about JSX elements, component, and today we'll do revision. And let's create this file in the week 2 folder. So that is going to be an index. The index.html. We usually call it index, but just for a reminder, we just call it revision.html. And I have this div, and the ID is actually root. So we have to get the React library, the React and the React DOM, where actually you just get it from the documentation here. Let me show you. You can get it here. I just copied it from here. But in addition to this, we need actually Bubble JS, and that allow us to compile the JSX to JavaScript. Yeah, still some students are coming, so I have to accept them. Setup, if you click on the setup and on the browser, we have to use this script, a bubble. So I can take this and I have to paste it after the React DOM here. And then the script which I'm going to write, this one, it should be type. The type should be text / bubble. Actually, they also wrote it how to use. After that, you can write JSX code inside here. You can write pure JavaScript or React or JSX code. Yeah. So let's access or get this value. How do we get it? Everybody knows that const root element and then document.get element by ID. What's the name of the ID?
Root.
Yes, root. Yes. So this is now the root is actually, it's just a kind of HTML object. So we say DOM. So now this represented as a DOM. Let's see if it's a DOM really. Root element printing to again admit some newcomers. Let's run this file and I will show you the printout of the root element on the console. Control-Shift-I, and let's see. As you can see now, it just gave us actually this value, but I think the easy way to see, if we just write document here, I access the Google homepage. Actually, it's not the Google homepage, but maybe I think if I go here, Control-Shift-I, document. Now I'm accessing the Google page as in object, JavaScript object. Okay, and from the document, maybe you may be interested to get the body. It gives you the body as in a whole. So that means actually everything is represented as DOM. The DOM, the document means the HTML document can be read as in a JavaScript object using by the browser. Okay, great. Now here what we need actually React. If you remember, we can use React DOM dot render, and you need this React DOM because you are accessing it. We have this, yeah. And so since you have this, I can access this method from this library, this module. From the module render, it takes 2 parameters. It could be JSX and the path, the root, for instance here, root element. But let's write our JSX outside. JSX is a mix of HTML. Let's see, H1 is an HTML tag. I am an I am a JSX element H1. Yep. Now, if I just check, I should get, yeah, it's already in here. So let's put it in one file, in one side, and this in the other side, and it will be easy. Yep. Great. Is it clear so far?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then last time, if you remember, this is tiny JSX element. Let's change this to a title. You know, if you change it to title again, you should change this also. For instance, getting started and React, because then yeah, it crashed. As you can see, it's not running. Why? JSX.
Because you need to change yes to title.
Yes, because yeah, you should really learn reading also your errors, unquote, reference error. JSX is not found, it's not anywhere. So let's change this to a title, and then we should get this. Great. Now, again, this is too little, you know, let's make this a bit bigger, and I can wrap it in a div, for instance, div, and then I can put this the title, and H2 as a title. I make a JavaScript popular JavaScript library, yeah, and H2. So as you can see now, I am wrapping up the inner content with a div. Of course, now you see this, yeah, you see something different, but the name doesn't make a bit sense. So let's change this to, what's a better name? Header, because I want to put it to the header. If we put, let's go semantic. This would be also better if we change it to a header semantic HTML element, right? Header. Okay, I want to ask you, what's the difference between this header and this header?
I think the purple header, it rendered the application you are writing in a browser or something like that. And then the header, that header with brackets, it makes us to know the type of I don't know how to say it, something you are writing about. For example, like a paragraph or small letter or something like that.
Yes, so this is actually HTML element part, and this is the JavaScript variable. This is the variable, a proper JavaScript variable, but this is the tag name header. So this will be responsible for the UI we are going to build, and that's why we call it also header. Now let me just pass the header, and you see something like that. And let's just even make it bigger. And author, I call it my name, Sabine Yitaich. Such a lovely name. Yes, it is actually. Okay, I'm going this now. Okay, small. And year, I think it's 2021. So now, as you can see, we have some data at the top. Is it clear so far, guys?
Yes.
Yeah, and if this sometimes if you are afraid of making mistakes, you can wrap it up using parentheses. Have you seen this? So all this is just one JSX element. Now let's create another JSX element, const the main part of our website. And we can use the main HTML element. Yes. It's better if they're aligned back like this. I can just prerequisite to how do you write this? Prerequisite or to get started, React. You should have, actually, I think I should have closed it. Then yeah, this code is so nice that when you just make some typo, some word, do I have a prerequisite? Yes, checker, nice. So let's do the HTML, right? We need HTML, and we need to have also, please, and CSS and the basics of JavaScript. Yeah, now we made the second HTML, JSX element, but we didn't render it. How can I render this below the header? Oh, tell me, guys. Can we use maybe
by making separate div?
Yes, or we can make it like this. We can put them like in putting them in an array. As you can see, we managed to render, but still there is a warning. Each child in a list should have a unique key property. So this is causing us some problem, you know. We can solve this by giving some key, but that's too complicated. So someone mentioned that, how about giving just a div here and then like injecting them as a data header, and then main. This is what we did, right, last time?
Yes.
Great. Now let's go for the footer. Const footer, and we can just do footer, and yes, and if you just do some kind of copyright, how do we write the copyright? This copyright 2021 by, yes, just I'm adding some. Then let's render this again. Footer. Here, as you can see, now we have the footer area, the main area, and the header area. It's all about formatting after this. Maybe I can also use this. So far, if you have noticed, I use static data. Static data is a data that can't be changed. You can't change it because it's static there. So let's change this data to dynamic data. As you can see, we have here, we can change it to something else. We can call it title. If you remember, I'm just reminding what we did last week. And then actually you can inject this here like this. Title. Yes. Does it ring a bell, guys, now? Yep. Or it's just, and again, const subtitle. I can inject that subtitle here. Subtitle. What do you think? Do you remember something? And then const, or maybe let first name and let last name. The examples are the same, so you have a chance to remember. So I can inject the data here. So if the author is going to be someone else, it's easy to change last name. Yes, and now the published date or year, we can get it from the date object, new date. If I just render this, it will be a crash. So look at it. Yep. So you have to go down and see what is happening. And if you read unquote error, object are not valid as a React child. The reason why this is actually an object. So we should get the gate full year as in a number, and we should just inject only the number. Yeah, now it is here. So as you can see, everything is like coming from here. And yes, let's see. How about this prerequisite? It's okay. Prerequisite's okay. But how about this? This could be also, it's a list. If it's something is a list, it's going to be an array. So we can call skills, the required skills, HTML, CSS, and Java. Then we can render, inject this here. How? You just leave it skills. Yeah, but the format is not the way you want, right? So you have to map it. We will learn mapping later, but just I will remind you, if you want to just print the number of skills, okay, just be number of skills. How do you do? Who can tell me this? Number of skills. Skills dot, oh, skills dot length. As you can see, we have 3 skills in the skills here. Maybe if you didn't get how to just use this, for instance, if I want to do something like this, 2 plus 3 is equal to 2 plus 3. Oh no, what's happening? Have you seen 2 plus 3? You're familiar with that, right? How about to the power of this sign? I can just do this, yeah? Yeah, so it's so powerful. This J6 allows you to put JavaScript operation using this curly bracket. You don't have to do like the string interpolation like this, okay? And the dollar sign something. You don't have to do that because J6 just allows you to inject data out of the box, and you don't have to think about the tick mark and also the tick symbol, and you don't have to think of also the dollar sign to put the dollar sign before the curly bracket. What you should do, just put the curly bracket and put your JavaScript expression, and you are done. Is it clear so far?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so now let's continue. And this person, as you can see, now we're trying to remove all the static data. So by someone, the author, first name and last name. And also this data, if you remember, we can get it from date.getFullYear, as you can see. Or I think it's date already it's already now, not a date actually, year, if you remember here. Yeah, so I can just put year. Yeah, great. Now this is J6 and this is J6 element and this is also J6 element. These are data that you get from API or something you fetch from a database, from any source, yeah? So your data, a dynamic data, a data that might change. For instance, if it's related to a person, the name of the person change, or if it's related to a book or a course, the name of the course or the title of the course change. So we can make that application or that code reusable for a different, yeah? Okay, great. Now let's scale up this to one level. Let's change this to a component. Do you remember last time what a component is, guys? Okay, let's revise the component. A React component is actually, it can be divided into two, class-based component and functional component. But let's just focus on functional component. And this functional component allow us to reuse the code. And we use a function and we have to create component name. We usually goes with the camel case, but the other camel, do you know we have two kinds of camel having these two things in the back? So yeah, that camel, the camel having to, what's this, something which looks like a hill on their back anyway. So you got what I meant. This, or we call this a Pascal case also. They call it snake case also, some kind of a Pascal case, yeah. This is a function, but whenever you use it, it should be not in a proper function name, but like this. Yeah, name of component. Okay, then you return what? You return what? Tell me. JSX. You return JSX. So JSX means something like this. It could be JS like this is a JSX. Yeah, great. Then if you know this, let's make use of this. But this could be a function expression like this, const, and you may like this, or it could be in a row function like this. Then we will stick into a row function. That's my favorite. So let's imitate this structure for all the JSX. We change all this JSX to a component. So let's change this to a component. As you can see, it says header. So it's related to the header. The name is going to be header with capital, because as I told you, the name should be starting with a capital letter. Yes. And what is the JSX? I can return this value. Okay. Header. Oh, great. But now let's do it differently because we are changing the JSX. Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I want to ask something. Why is it important that the name should start with a uppercase letter, not small case letter?
Yeah, okay, I will show you. Now, that's a very good question. For instance, now it's uppercase, right? The reason why, do you know object-oriented programming?
Not so.
Yes, in JavaScript, for instance, if we are writing class, a dog, we should really write it capital, like dog. This is an object. You don't, I mean, a class. This is a class. You don't do that. But when we create object, you can say a dog from a new dog and something like that. So it really reads the what is this called? It's the case. So it's case sensitive. So the case, it really matters. It's case sensitive. So because it's one, it is meant for development purpose because it's a convention. Sometimes when you do things, if you don't have a convention for yourself or with a team, it's hard. It creates a kind of a confusion. So let me show you here. Now it's a capital, right? Okay, then let's render it. If it's if it is a component, when we render it, we should use something like this. Okay, this is coming from where? from the header. But let's change this to a small letter instead of capital, and let's see. Have you seen? We didn't see it.
Change the bottom render also to small letter.
Okay, you're right. That's very good. Yeah, thank you. But I think that my first test was wrong. I should have done this. But now, have you seen now actually the problem is related with something else. We have a JavaScript problem because it has the same name. Let's also make some difference. Header component, yeah? This one, and let's say header component. Okay. Have you seen? Warning is using incorrect casing. Use Pascal case for React components or lowercase for HTML elements at header. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. It should be the camel case, the other camel case, but now if I fix this to H capital and this H capital, it will work. Have you seen that? Great. So we don't have to fight with this convention. It's better to accept the convention and move on. And now let's also make it a bit shorter. We don't have to really have this header by itself. It's capital, and we know that it is the component as great. So now, yeah, it's also no need to write this separately. Let's just get this down and return it here because we're going to reuse it so we can make it inside. Even this part of the code, I think it seems it's supposed to be inside at least some part of the code should be here, as you can see. Yeah, but the reason some part should be outside because we have used it also somewhere else. Okay. Yeah, so I have to come and read the reason why I am having this in where exactly. Let's undo some steps.
Line 50.
Yes, let me see. Oh no. Okay, let's take this out. We don't need all this, and let's return it here. Yeah, still fine. That's great. We could put this inside this block, but let's keep it there because some of the data is shared downstairs, okay? And now it's easy to turn this to a functional component, just main. And then we can just use this. Yeah. By the way, if we don't have anything inside here, we don't have to have return, if you remember, and we don't have to have the curly bracket, and we can just return it explicitly like this. Yeah. Yes, my JavaScript students, you remember, make squared. Yeah. N times. You remember this?
Yeah.
Remember this? What we are doing here is actually the same. There is nothing we can process inside the block code, so we are just returning it explicitly. Okay, so just this reminder. And we did the same here, and we can also do here again now. Let's do just, and what we need is changing this to capital. And then after this, main and footer. Yep, Everything is here now. Well done, everybody.
Great.
So this is what we did last week. It was a tiny lesson. Are you ready for next step before we have a break?
Ready.
Okay, then we may spend about 15 minutes. And as we have planned last week, we learned today at least props and mapping. I may leave this state for next week because it's hard to absorb lots of information at once, but we will see. Okay, so now this person is just okay to, I mean, where is it? Please, what? Okay, I have to make it a bit, whatever. So now, how about if the data was a bit different? Like, okay, let's change this to a kind of a data. As you can see, it's related to one person, and let's just create a kind of a data object. And this person is actually going to be author, and this author is going to be this person, yeah? And I can just put this data inside. I'm creating some data structure, okay? I will remove this and you understand that this is just a JavaScript object inside another object, yeah? By the way, why my prettier is not working? Because maybe but it's okay for the timing. I can just do this. Okay, then maybe this person or maybe a course. You can say the course, the name of the course. We may say that this is the course name. And let's remove this. And then this course actually prerequisites or skills that require this course. If you remember, we have a kind of list, yeah, here. Oh yeah, great. Then I'm putting it there. So then the year, we may change, we may have a new date, but we can also have a static year. After that, I think we don't need this data. And we don't also need this. By the way, first I want to ask you, are you okay with this data? Do you understand what it means? This data, it talks about some author, its author name, and the course, and name of the course, getting started with React, subtitle, and these skills, prerequisite skills, and published year or something. Yeah. So I want you to render this data now here and everywhere. How do we use this data? Do you remember the destructuring, guys?
Yeah, but I didn't understand the question.
Okay, because now the data is a bit different than what we had. Now it's an object. Have you seen Kirsi? We have an object, yeah?
Yeah.
But our data is now one. It's not like everywhere. So we want to inject this, for instance, a Sabine has to be here, last name, and the title has to come here. And our application, as you can see, it's not working anymore. We have to fix it again because now we have a different data structure. We have an object.
Was it with get keys, get values?
Yes, yeah, that's one method. So
Maybe we use return.
no, just we, as she said, data.title, for instance, for this. But I can't access the title. I should go course. And again, data.course.subtitle, because first you have to go to the data and then the course and then the title. And then again here, data.author and then author first name. Data.author last name. I think after some point, and here again, year, when. Actually, so we can just get a full year. And then here again, data.course.year. We're left with few data now. Skills. Okay, you have to go to the data and then the course skills. And again here also data.course.skills. I think I'm repeating too much. And then here data.course.year. And since it's about the author, data.author, data.author. Now it should work again. Oh yeah, as you can see, we got everything back. So we just get the data out using the keys. You use the key and you get the value. So you know object literal, okay? Is it surprising or not? It's not surprising, right?
No.
Sorry if I may hack something. Why do we have to go so many processing like this than the other time before you take the data?
Okay, because most of the time you get data in different structure. Most of the time you may get this kind of structure and different object forms. So you have to know how to deal with objects, how to deal with array of objects. Yeah. For instance, I think I have also shared with you maybe before the lesson. I may copy and bring some data. In real life, I can create here separately data, data.js for the time being. In real life, data usually looks somehow like this. For instance, I created this data and it has some author information, and repos. It could be also countries or courses, the list of courses. Yeah. So data structure it needs. How do you structure the name of a different courses? Yeah. The title of the course, movies. It could be movies or countries information. So in that case, we need to have a kind of structure like this. For instance, if you go for this data, what kind of data is it? It's an object. And this object has also properties. This property author, it's another, again, object. And there is a key value, and the course it has, and you see another array here. So it's a very good one. Femi, did I answer your question?
Yes.
It's very important in real life data structured like this. For instance, if we have many courses, instead of like course, what we should do, let me show you. Instead, it should have been like this, courses and like this. And actually, we can destroy that and it will be something And now I may change the name of the course. Getting started React, getting started JavaScript, and you change. Now you have the data of the list of courses you offer or you are taking. Does it make sense?
That's great.
Yeah, but now let's make it short and let's stick into what we have. This, yeah. So the reason why I changed it that just the single data to such kind of because what's the name of this? Yeah, it's nested object. That's true. It's a nested object. Yes, as you can see, we have nested object. Great. Now, at the meantime, also we will learn destructuring, guys. The last lesson from your JavaScript. If you didn't understand, at the same time, you will learn destructuring here. Okay, so that's why my React lesson doesn't sound more of a React, it sounds more of a JavaScript lesson, and maybe it feels good. So let's just return this properly with a curly bracket, because now we have something to process inside. This data.course, data.author. This is very, very tiring, right? Have you seen repetition? So we can avoid that using destructuring. Honest, yeah, then course, and then, because if no, actually I can start from the author, and then course. From where? Tell me. From where can I destructure?
From data.
From data.
From data. Great, everybody. Now I can remove actually this at least one level. Yes, still working, but I want to even get further, because author has, you can even internally destructure to first name and last name, and after this we don't have author. Let's remove it. What's wrong here?
There is typo first name.
Wow, Kirsi's, I don't know, her eyes really so nice. Yes, thank you, Kirsi. Yeah, now it works again. And now, similarly, the way we did for author, let's destructure this, the course. Yeah, so it's right, title, yeah, subtitle, skills, and year. I think it should be something like, it would be nice if it would. Yes, now we can remove this course. Instead, we are getting exactly from, or directly, I mean, yes, it should work again. Do you love this structure? Your code is now clean, guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, did you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, now we do the same for here, inside here. By the way, now we have to use the curly bracket for most of the codes, because we have something to do inside. So let's destructure this inside here. But in this case, we need only the course. Actually, the course, we don't need the author, so we don't need the author. We remove the author. And you don't need skills. Yeah, now it should start working again. Now the last step is this one. Again, we have to also return, and making this, which one is it? Let's copy this, and Here what we need is only year, right? So the year is actually coming from the course, so we don't need the others, just we need this. Even in this case, you can also just do data course year. It doesn't really much matter, okay? Because there's nothing much. It's just one line. It's okay. Yeah, so structuring, does it sound good?
Yes.
Definitely easier than writing it in full vanilla JavaScript.
Yeah, great. So I want to keep this for you because we destroyed it because copy, and I may give it some name. Now we are not anymore in the revision stage because we are just structuring. Structuring. Oh no. Copy. Yeah, this is what I want, and maybe I think we have to keep this without structuring. And even we can just keep it. Yes. This is what Femi was. Why he was asking. That you're right. Yeah. This is good example. We leave this also as in a revision. Now let's go to another topic, and I call it props. And the name of the file is also, I call it props.html because I'm talking about props. Yeah. And it's a very good chance for you also just to get started again. Let's HTML, why it's changing to Django whatsoever here. Let's just get it back. Yeah. HTML. Oh no, don't please stay in there. HTML. Keep it there. Oh no. HTML5, this one give me. And getting started, React and getting started to React and what is this? The name of the topic now is props. Okay, let's run this. Yeah, nothing. Okay, but we have to take some of the starting code from here because we need this part, right? This part, good. And we should write it here. Of course, we need here also the div, and the ID should be root, and we need some kind of, and this script, I should close it. And we have to get honest root element, document get element by ID and a root, and of course React DOM render. It takes, let's say H1. We are about to start props H1, and then the second argument is going to be this. Yeah, root. Okay, what is this, guys? Tell me. Guys, tell me, please.
JSX.
Yes, great. JSX. This is JSX, yeah. You can write it here, or you can just write it outside by naming, you can say it's title, and you can just call it there, title. And let's see now what we have. Yeah, and I was expecting something. Yeah, it's there actually. So let's take this to the other side. Now, as you can see, it just, you put it. You don't need anything because it's just one. But if it's a couple of things, you need curly bracket to inject. Okay, great. So now you know here, JSX props, React props. What is this props? Actually, props is just like it's a kind of saying properties, and it may be like also a kind of what I could say. A kind of a property, just or attribute. Let's do some book, for instance. Yeah. Let's say create a book component and render if. Okay. What are a property of a book? Tell me, guys. H1. A book may have a title, right?
Yeah.
Yes, for instance, the title, let's go for 30 days of React is a book, actually. Okay, let's say that. And then again, it may have a subtitle, H2, and the subtitle is going to be actually, let's call it a modern, a guide to learn React in an easy way. The subtitle. Is it a very good subtitle?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, great. And then it has an author. Let's just call it the P, author. Yes, then again, type. Everybody just freaked out when they hear this name, yes, because it's so hard. And year 2021, just let's go for now. Yes, now we have actually a React component, and the name is, what's the name of this component? I need a reaction, guys. What's the name of book? Yes. So how do I inject it here?
You write book.
Yes, not with like this, book. If it's a component, we usually use something like this. Yeah?
Okay.
Great. Do you think I can use this component? Do you think this component is reusable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm afraid it's not reusable because the data is static. I can't change it. If it was a JavaScript like function, I can pass parameters here, right? Now it's, so actually instead of writing it here, we can just write something here. So the way we pass argument in a JavaScript function, we can pass something here. So, okay, let me just show you something. Props is a globally available parameter here. And let's see what we can get there. Console.log props. And let's just open this. And if I will show you, it's an empty object. Nice. Let me refresh. An empty object. But instead, if you start passing some attribute here, for instance, I can call it title. This is the title. Oh, did you see something? Guys, did you see something?
Yep.
Yes, change.
Yes, because the empty object is now populating, right? It has something. Okay. Now let's write subtitle. This is the subtitle. By the way, I'm in favor of single quote than double quote. Yeah, have you seen something? It's populating. Oh, great. Now instead of like writing something random, actually let's write this one here. No, don't do that. I think I don't know how I select anyway. It's okay. I can do that. And let's take also our long subtitle. Have you seen? Okay. What do I see here?
You copy, you're supposed to remove T before A.
Yeah, thank you. That's because it was strange. Yes, thank you. Okay, now for the time being, just let's keep the time. But anyway, this props is actually containing what we had here. That's the good news, right?
Yes, it is a good news.
Yeah, because instead of printing here, we can make use of here by injecting, by saying props.title. Yeah, and let's try just one and leave. Have you seen? We managed to get it. It's coming. Okay, let's try also this remove and props.subtitle. Yep, we're getting it. But we don't have, let's try props.first name. Okay. Props.last name. As you can see, nothing happened here because we don't have here first name. First name Asabel. Then it should come, I think I didn't write first name. Oh yeah. And then last name. And as you can see, the object is also having all the data. Year. Maybe if you want a number, you can just put, if you are passing a number, you don't do something like this. It's inappropriate. Yeah, it crashes. If you are writing a number, you should put it something like this. Yeah, now let's get also this props.year. Now, as you can see, this data is actually a dynamic data coming from the props. Are you convinced, guys?
Yeah, it's definitely very useful.
Now
Just inject the data.
Yes. Now let's see if it's reusable or not. Now, as you can see, we have one component. If let's try to make a div, and I can. How about if I write this many times? For some reason, there's some mistake. Let's see one times because oh yeah, because I didn't remove this far and we didn't close. Yeah, so this is the component, the first component we have, and this external div. If you duplicate this now, let us duplicate it. Have you seen now? How many books do we have? We can count 1 book, 2 book, 3 book, 4 book. Now it's up to you changing the title, 30 days of React. Instead, I changed to 30 days of Python. A guide to learn Python in an easy way. 30 days of JavaScript. Once if you make the mission will take care of the hard work, right? A guide to learn JavaScript. And you can just change that the year 2019 because I know. And if you don't want that kind of format, for instance, you need to November 2019. And I can change this to also 1 of January 2020. Yes, so it's all about changing the data. 30 days of React, 30 days of HTML. Did you understand props now? It's like a kind of parameter. You just add parameter. Now, for instance, instead of like writing the author, how about if we write author, something like this? Author, and then again, if we put something like this, now you tell me how am I going to inject this there, and how was this the structure of our data during destructuring, because it should, yeah, it's good. Course name also, yeah, let's put it something like this. Yes. Now, what? I need this. Yeah. And then the name of the book, for instance, instead of writing something like this, we can say small. I think I can say, yeah, instead of just, we can wrap it with some kind of book info. Then, or course info. Yeah, I think instead, I will change the book to course, by the way, because for me, since it's a course, it will be the course info. Yeah, so course info. I will keep this structure, the structure we have here, the data. This is really good one. So let's take this. And we don't have to. Now, as you can see, it's too much to write. So instead, we can write actually data. Just you can write data. And the data is going to be this in one, sorry. Something like this. Yeah, but do you know why? We made some, it's going crazy. How do we fix this? Yeah, you need one extra object to put this in as an object. Or another way, I can copy this part and it should be outside somewhere, const data. And you can inject that data like this. Now let's imagine we don't have all this. Yeah, so now as you can see, it's not working anymore because let's see what do we have inside the props. Have you seen what you see inside the props? Data. Inside data we have, so we should say props dot data dot course. props.data.course. Props.data.author. Props.data.author. It's the same thing like the previous data.course.year. Now we got the data again. Have you seen? Getting started with React. Now, if you want to create another component again, because it's not a very good idea to write this outside, you just inject it here, and we can do the same. I can copy this and change the data. The author is the same, but getting instead, I can call it 30 days of React. Popular JavaScript, have you seen? And another 30 days of JavaScript or Python. Yeah. This kind of format could be for books, for courses, for movies, for user card, for a profile card. So once you make that component very well, and you can reuse that. But so before we leave to the break now, also let's destructure this the way we did before. Yep, one way of destructuring, and maybe I can also take an example of this. I think I have to take these props without destructuring. And I want you to have everything because every step is very important to understand the concept. Now let's destructure because we have, no, this is not this is the file, right? Yes. Okay, so I think I have to print this to the console.log and props, and I have to show you how the props looks like. Have you seen now? If you destructure this, what do you get? That means honest data, you destructure it from props. And let's see what we can get from data. Console.log data. Okay, from data again, you can again destructured from data, author, and course. And here it should be data. And let's see what we can get also from author and the course. Have you seen? This is coming from the, this one is, I think, the author, and this is the course. Great. And then again, let's destructure honest. The author could be first name and last name and author. And honest title, subtitle, year, and that is from a course. Now everything has been actually destructured. So you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't need this. So if you have seen, I destructured it at different stage. Some people, most people, I would say most people prefer destructuring like this because they're afraid of like making it to somehow, but I will go one like we will destructure it the way we did here. If you remember when we destructure, we use just one step. Have you seen it? It's just one step. We nested destructuring. Okay. nested destructuring. So now let's do nested destructuring. Const. Yes, there's noise coming. So how do we do that? Actually, everything starts from the data, right? From the data we get what? Author and course. Yeah. So you can say author and a course. Great. And from author, what do you get? Actually, you get first name and last name. Oh, sorry, this sounds a bit complicated, right? From course, what do you get? You just copy this and put it here. I think we don't have to copy, the video is enough, so you can see it later. So from here we get that, but it's better if we put it in like this. It's so easy to see it. So, and from the author, we destructure this. Yeah, and then now we don't need all this. Great. I think now we're really going hard in destructuring. So you don't have to have that much understanding of destructuring. If you can destructure it step by step the way I did, I think even I have to leave that as an example. Maybe wait. I can copy a snapshot of this, copy, and I can create another file for you for reference. I call it this destructuring props in one go, or in one on one line. In line is just okay. Then I can get this a bit back, one step back, and I will leave it there for you. Yeah, no, this is good enough. As you can see, you can do also this. First, you destructure the data, and then from the data, author and course, and from that, from author, first name and last name, and from course, title, subtitle, and year. That's great. Okay, let's have a very good break, guys. Have a 15 minutes break and come back with lots of energy. Yes, do you have any question before we go for a break?
No, so far so good.
Okay, then let's have a break. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed props, how to destructure props, and every code we wrote is recorded, and at the same time I was taking a snapshot of the code and gave it a different name. So if you have a plan to go through, everything is here. Yeah, we didn't lose anything. So every step of the process has been saved in a different file. But some of you complained that it was a bit fast to follow and you had a problem to follow me this. And then how about if we just destroy this all over, destroy it and do it all over again? You know, repetition is really good sometimes to understand. So I can destroy these different books component, and I don't want to have anything here, and even I don't want to have anything here. Destroy, everybody last, destroying, right? Even we don't have anything here. So what we have is actually now the div, the root, and we have just get that value using this document get element. And last time, or a few minutes ago, I told you that we have this, the React DOM. So let's get that React DOM here. And so this is how you get it. So this React DOM has a method called render. Render allow us to create UI on the HTML DOM. So it takes actually a JSX element like hi, this is a JSX, and the root element. By the way, you don't have to even declare the root element. You can just copy this and put it here, and even you don't have to declare anything. So this is what you can have. And then let's go and see what we have. And now if I refresh, I should see something. Oh, nothing. So when something goes wrong like this, you should come in here and check it. Okay, line 3. Okay, H1. Kirsi, your eyes all the time is good. I think there's extra T over here, yeah? Okay, so this extra T causing a problem. Now, hi. Okay, great. I think in one side is much better. So let's go and change this. I am JSX. Yeah, this is JSX. Okay, great. But JSX, we can write also this JSX outside like honest, the name of the JSX, and you write it. The reason why I'm really so fast, because you know this, we did this 101 times, and now it should be second nature, right? Yeah, so JSX. And now let's change this to a component. If I want to change this to a component, I should change this to a capital, and then I can just return it like this. So this is actually what? A function, and it's a component. So I have to also JSX. Because if it's a component, but this is not anymore a JSX, instead I have to call it component. Component, and I can call it component. Yeah, I can. So I have, this is a component. This is a component. Great. Then anything, if you pass something here, props, we can access, but since it's an explicit return, you remember? So to know what is inside the props, I am just doing this. Latest do this console.log and props. And if you check, it's empty object. Oh, great. And maybe let's pass some attribute here. Name. And I can, some name, just some name. Oh, now the props has been changed. It has something. Yes, because this attribute become a key, and the value is also the object for a value. So that means we can access this here. Let's try how. Actually, props.name. Yeah, as you can see, some name. Actually, instead we can call it like the way we did last time. We gave this, what's the name of? It was a course, actually, course. And then if it's a course, I have to change this to also a course component name. And course may have a title, right? I can call it title. So instead, this one is going to be 30 days of React. Yeah. So as you can see, the title, but it's not anymore. We don't have name. Instead, it should be. It should be. Guys, tell me.
Title.
Oh. Yes. Now, you add, whenever you add additional attribute, but we don't call it attribute here, props, we call it props. Subtitle props, I can call it a complete guide to learn React. Then I can this is not anymore enough for me, so I can say I have to wrap it in div. And then I can put this one here, and additional h2 props dot subtitle. Okay. Subtitle, why?
It's subtile. In the React DOM render, there's
Okay.
subtile, not title.
Variable, yeah.
Great. Yeah, now just to keep going, if you remember, I can say author and put it like as an object. First name of the author is Sabine, and the last name of the author yes. So as you can see, this is how you put objects. I think I made some. I can correct it there, and let me just show you. Yeah, so this is the external, the JavaScript, the JSX that allow us to inject data, and this is the object. How do you get the value from here? Yes, P. Props. Yeah, props. Tell me, props.
Dot author.
Dot author dot first
Name.
First
Yeah.
name.
Now, as you can see, and then you just copy this and change the first name to last name. And that's what you need to know about the author. Yes, such an awesome name ever given to a human being. Oh, sorry. Yes. Okay, great. Yeah, I have a couple of chocolate, and I'm going just nuts here. Okay. So now maybe year, the year of, yeah, we can include the year also here, and then new date, and maybe even we can just get the full year right away there. And now you tell me this, maybe I can go for small and props.author.year, but I think it doesn't sound good. The year is I mean in here it should be in the course, right? So this information, the year is not directly related to the person, yeah. But anyway, you got the point. Okay, Kirsi, what do you think? Does this help to connect the dots you missed?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now we didn't do any kind of destructuring yet. And also, instead of having different kind of this kind of, maybe I think I can destructure this before I change it also. How do we destructure this? To destructure this, Honest, you can just say title, subtitle, no, subtitle, and then author. But now you have to say props. Then I don't have to have here props. I don't have to have props because author is already here. And now even we can destructure it here. The author could be destructured too. First name and last name.
So sorry, this part I didn't understand now.
Yes, yes, it is not, okay, see, this is not only a problem, it's a problem for many developers. And do you know what they do? Okay, they avoid this. So I would tell you to avoid this. So do you know what you should do? But it's clear up here, right? Kirsi, is it clear up here? Yes.
No, no, when you, what's the word? When you wrote the props in different place and removed it from the, sorry, I get lost.
Okay, but did you understand this stage?
No, the
Okay,
last
do you
one.
understand? Yeah, wait, do you understand? Okay, maybe, wait, I can do it differently. I can just comment this out for some time. Why I didn't comment out? Let me have, to comment, by the way, this is how you comment JSX. To comment JSX, this is how you do it. So let me comment out for the timing and show you console.log props, okay? I will show you, do you understand this object?
Yes.
Okay, this object, let's see what it has. It has actually title and subtitle and author. Inside author, we have first name and last name and year. So we can destructure this like this. Const, and I think to access it here, for instance, title. And if I say, what was this, props? I think I cannot, but we can do here. So now, have you seen title, subtitle, and author?
Yeah.
Is the title, the subtitle, and the author are destructured. Is it okay?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then let us see if we are capturing those values. Long, title, subtitle, author. Then as you can see, the title, 30 Days of React, a complete guide to learn React, that's the subtitle. And the author, actually the author is still, what is it? Still an object, right?
Yeah.
So it has to be destructured. Then we can say const first name, last name, and we can destructure the author. Now the author is destructured, and you can access console.log. What's the first name and last name? As you can see, now we have finished. We don't need this line. We don't need this line. And so in how many lines did we manage to destructure our props?
2 lines.
In 2 lines. It's possible to make them in 1 lines, now in 2 lines. And most developers do step by step, because it's like a kind of confusing, like the nesting destructuring is confusing for most people. Okay, so even I will try to avoid using it because that really like confuse people. But for me, since I've been using JavaScript and React for so long, it's just natural for me to do it. But I completely understand my students. Yeah, how about this one, Kirsi? But the thing is, actually, whenever we destructure in 1 line, you just take this, copy, and you put a colon and just put it there, and you don't need the second line anymore, actually.
Yeah.
So, but what is the problem in here? Author is not. So we have to now remove the author, because author has been destructured. If it's destructured, you can't get it there. Still we have a bug. Author is not defined. Okay, let me see.
The first and last name, yeah. There's still author.
Author.
Line 22.
Yes, line number 22, yeah.
22 author. Oh, we have here still. Yes, we have to remove them all. If yes, but still we have some problem. Year is not defined. Yes, because we have to also destructure it out from here, and after this we will be fine. Oh yeah, great. So this is destructuring, and actually before the break we used this one, actually this data, because this data was somehow very beautiful. We took this one and we put it, is it the one we've been working? I don't know now. Even this code has.
What was it? Props.html.
Okay then. So now even we can just put this const data. Actually, it has already data. And then instead of, as you can see, we have lots of information, and our code will not be clean if it's written like this. It's not. So data, we can just inject the data. Now it's clean, as you can see. Have you seen? We have our component here. Have you seen our component and our data here? But it may not work, as you can see. Why? The reason is because the way we destructured doesn't match this schema. So let's go and do it again. Let's remove even the destructuring, because some people hate destructuring. So let's do it the long way. How do we do this? Props, yeah, dot data, dot course, dot title. And just let's comment this out and do it step by step. The commenting is, this is how you do it. Yeah, this is commenting. So now let's take this out again and put props.data.course.title, subtitle. Yes. And then again, skills, if you are interested in, but it's the header part, or I think we can also put that. Okay. Author, let's go for author. Author props.data.author.first name. Have you seen how tiring when you don't destructure? Props.data.author.last name.
Yeah, but this one I understood. This one,
yeah.
I think was simple, but this structuring was a little bit confusing.
Yes, that's why we're writing all over again with the long way, and we destructure it too. And then you will have a chance to know. But it's not a must for to write your code in a destructured form. But when recruiters see you have a highly destructured code and clean code, reusable code, they see that you know what you're doing, you know? Do you understand, Kirsty?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So they know, they just, you're a developer, going to be an aspiring software engineer, and there should be some reason that I can select you from the crowd. That one of these, your code. I have to come to your project. First, I have to see your UI. Yes, you're a designer. You write a very high quality design work, and then I go to your JavaScript code and React code, and then I have to see the quality of your code. That is the reason why. And let's see, now we're left with the year, and then again, small, because I like small by the way somehow, and props dot and data inside the course, there is year, and then after this we don't need this. Okay, yeah. And then published, you may say this published date or course date whatsoever, or posted date whatsoever. No one knows what you are, or maybe the course starting time, something like that. So the power of such kind of data, component, now, if we are interested to duplicate this, okay, div, of course, we have to have a wrapper. In every component, we have to have a wrapper. Yes, just duplicate this like this. And now I have how many? How many? 1, 2, 3, or 4. So,
4.
yes, there is sound. So we can change the data. By changing this data, we make this different. Okay. The good news, I prepared the data already, so we can make use of that. Okay. So, but before that, shall we destructure again, guys? Step by step destructuring. Okay, this is how you honest data from the props. Is it step already easy? Who doesn't know this step, guys? Because I can help you if I don't know your problem. Is it already okay?
So
Please?
what are you defining now? Is it this data, author, first name, last name?
What?
No, just move on and
Yes, this data is an external data.
Yeah.
I may, so this data is coming from outside, imagine from a database.
Okay, yeah.
But after we had it, then where did we pass it? We passed it here, as you can see.
Yeah.
Then where did we access it? Inside the component. In a form of what? Props. Let's console.log and see what props has. Have you seen?
Yes.
The props has something. What does it have? What's the key of the props? Tell me, what's the data? So we have to destructure using that key. The key is this. Okay. Then console.log data, and you have to see what does the data looks like. Now the data looks like this. What are the key of this, the data now? What are the key? Author and course. So you can again do author, course. Hey, author and the course, I need you from the data. Yes, we got it. Okay, then let's see what we can get from console.log author. From author, actually, there's first name and last name. Then we can destructure console. Const first name, last name, author. Similarly, from a course, we can destructure the title, the subtitle, and the year, and we can get it from course. After this, you don't need all this thing. I can select them once and remove them. Yes. And then again, from the author, I don't need this. Yep. So now this is line by line. For instance, if I am your supervisor, or maybe like somehow if I see your code like this, I can see that you are a kind of a careful person who doesn't like to mess with destructuring and trying your best to destructure. Yeah, I'm okay, I'm fine. I couldn't be disappointed by this code. It's good. Even without destructuring, it's okay. This is one stage. I think we have this. Do we have Snapple? But why? I have seen some messy code. What happened to this? What head?
Because the extension name, maybe the
Oh,
JS. Yeah.
HTML. Okay, because we have actually a backup for a different stage for. This is a completely inline structured. Line by line destructuring do we have? I think I can call it this. This the one line by line destructuring. Yes. In case if you need it. Step by step destructuring.html. Great. But now since you have, but I think what I would say, this is how you take now. Copy and you put it here. Now you don't need here anymore. Okay, in the author, what do you have? You get it to inside the author. Actually, it's after you destructure it step by step. It's easy to change it to a one-liner. You don't need this, and you put it to inside the course. And my linter is not working for some reason. Let's make it clean by putting it something like this. As you can see.
Okay, yeah, I got this now. I just last time lost somewhere, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you don't have to just because this is fancy, like just tutorial, to pretend that you really know JavaScript very well, structure, whatever. Yeah, have you seen it has a couple of nesting, yeah? So you don't have to. Now we are really going the nitty-gritty of the structuring, and we are in a good shape of like. So, but have you seen the data? All data are the same. It's boring, yeah? Okay, so I prepared, I think first I have to copy this one too, or is it the same? I think this is the same as what we had, but I want to show you this. This is the data. I may call them courses. My courses. The name is courses. Okay. The name of the author is, as you can see, first name is Sabine, and last name. He lives in Finland. Skills. His skills, as you can see here, has got lots of skills. Don't worry about that. Then repos. The repository, because I just created them like this 30 days of JavaScript, and the number of stars, the number of workers published, like the, yeah. So days, how many days does it take? 30 days, something. You can add as many keys or attributes as you want, but already I created this. So let's render this where? Here, instead of rendering the same kind of data. Shall we do that?
Yeah.
Great. Then we have to import this data. How do we import? I will show you. Maybe we can also give it different name, courses data, because it will not be confusing. Courses data. So it's easy to remember. So to import, first you have to have such kind of export. We will talk about import export very well in another lesson, but now for the time being, I have a plan to import this data. So to import it first, I have to write export in front of the variable name. Okay, great. Where do I want to import it? Because I want to use it in this file. Oh, now the problem is I'm using React in a different way, so I can't import or export. But maybe actually if JavaScript supports importing, let me try import. What's the name? I think it's courses. Courses from, what's the file? Courses data.js. Yeah, no, it's not yet supported. So I think let's reference here requires not define. So the easy way, let's do it the JavaScript way instead of React. So how can I do? I can just import it in a JavaScript way without exporting. And let's remove this. We will talk about import export later, okay? Forget about it. We have a solution all the time. So how can I import script? Yeah, tell me. Then source. Yeah, this. I can access it like this. Then to check if the data is available or not, console.log, and then courses. Courses. If it's there, let's see if we have it or not. Okay, yeah, it's here as you can see. Yep. Then repos. Yeah, great. Have you seen it, guys?
Yes.
Great. So since we have this, now we are not going to talk about this data, and we are not going to talk about also this data. And instead of also, and even I think it's better to talk about, again, a different thing. So forget about the components we have, and let's do another component again from scratch, and you will have a chance to notice what is happening. Yes. Okay, so courses. Okay, so what are we injecting now to our DOM? You should see courses, right? Is it from a component or is it from JSX element? Yeah, this is just
JSX.
Yeah, this is just JSX. So now let's create a const courses instead of courses. So it's going to be plural, and I want to return many courses, and return div and div. So how many courses? So it's going to be course 1, course 1, course 2, course 3. Then let's do this here. Maybe I can render it. Courses. Oh, course 1, course 2, course 3. Nice. But it's better to create the course 1, right? It's good to create course 1 first. We don't have course 1. Do we have? So let's make a component course, just a course, okay? A single course. And then after we make the first course, and then we will reuse that course, and then we will have courses. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then the same as the way we've been doing, return, and then div. Wait, so if you remember, what we want to have is actually the same thing. What? H1, and it's going to be title, and H2 is going to be subtitle, and then P, author, and then small year or page, even if you are interested. Yes. Now instead of just course 1, let's just render this. Okay. Course. One of the course. And let's see what we see. Oh, yeah. That is good. Then I think I have to show this in the other side. As you can see, now this is course. I called this course here. And then again, but the problem is this is not taking dynamic data. Yeah. So let's make it to take dynamic data. So it should be props. Yeah. Then tell me, you guys, props dot title. And tell me again, props dot
Subtitle.
subtitle. I talk, you guys are silent. Do you think I don't get tired? Props dot
Author.
author. Author, I usually give different, so maybe let's go for author and the first name, because usually it says in object. Why is it 2? We don't need. Year, we can even just write away like new date and gate full year and something like this. I think by now it should work, but it's not working. Do you know why? The reason? And I think you should come and see. Cannot read property first name of undefined, because we didn't give anything here. So title, first course title, because it's just now we are creating a kind of a template, and then we may make use of this subtitle. Okay, if you really follow the pattern, what do you think the subtitle going to be? First course subtitle, guys, just subtitle. Okay, and then you know the author. Then if you are following author,
First name and last name.
First name, and it's going to have first course author, no one knows. And but for the time being, we can say John Doe, John, why me all the time? And Joe might be disappointed last name. And John Doe. Yes, but as I told you, if you are using an object, the object should be inside another object. Now it's okay. Have you seen now? Our first course got dynamic data, but these guys are not working properly. So what do? Duplicate at least once. Then instead of first, second course.
Sorry, why don't is not appear? Last name.
Okay, I will check that second. Doe, because I don't know. Let's go and see. Because we didn't
give, yeah.
create it. Then we have to say last name. Has the first name course, John Doe. Why? John Doe everywhere. We have lots of people here. John Doe, James Robert. Okay, I don't know. Robert. Okay, then. Yes, you can change the year also if you want, because this year is not a good idea to put it here. Just it's better to say props dot year, and then we can get the year from here. Year, for instance, it was 2019, and did I tell you that if it's the number also, you have to put it inside the curly bracket. If it's a string, you can put it in a curly, in a single quote or double quote or a tick mark. Let's make this 20. Great. Now, as you can see, we managed to create a kind of a course format. Yeah. but still this data structure is a bit light because yeah, the data structure we are getting from here is a bit different. Console.log courses, because we're about to inject the courses we got from this line. I will show you. Our plan is to make use of this. Yeah. Okay. We can destructure, start destructuring this. Let's destructure it. Const, yeah, author and repose. Or maybe, yeah, okay, because for you guys it might be just a very weird name, repose. I change for you just these courses, okay? Oh, but the outside is actually courses already, so it's not very good. So let's keep it repose. Oh yeah. So let's get back from this from courses. We have repose, and then we can say courses. Are you fine? Are you okay? Are you still okay? You have this thing, and we destructured it like this. Is it okay for you? Yeah, you have this object, and then just you have this key, we took it out. You have reports, you take it out. Is it okay? Do you understand this?
Yes.
Yeah, great. But now, before we do this step, let's avoid all this thing. This we come to the courses. What we can do is actually courses, and we pass to courses. Yeah, courses. So the whole data, I am just, I'm passing the whole data to where? To the courses, the courses component. Then just forget about this one. And now let us see what we get here. Not here, here. Console.log props, but we didn't pass props yet, props. Have you seen here? I got courses. And if I do this inside courses, there is actually inside courses, there is also courses. It's a kind of, so to get that dot courses. Now, as you can see, I have this author and repose. Now I can destructure that. How do I destructure? Const, author, repose, and then you can just destructure this. Okay, from author, again, you can structure const, first name, last name, and you can destructure the author. But the repos can't be, because the repo, if you see, they are arrays, and the arrays has, so whenever you have arrays, instead of, what do? Actually, we loop through it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's we loop through. Then for the time being, instead of doing this, how many times we did this? 3 times. But actually, we can say const course list is equal to repos.map, and then repo. We can return the repo, but it's not like that, but we should have the course, the single course, and something like this. And we have to pass course is equal to repo. Or maybe I think instead I can call it course also, single course. Then course, the same name. I think you will figure it out. Then what I'm doing here is actually, let me show you by printing out console.log. What do we have in the course list now? We are mapping, map. I've been saying that React is all about map. Have you seen now here? I mapped it to be a JSX, and then now instead of doing this old thing, like whatsoever, I don't know. What I can do actually, we can do the inject course list. Okay, something is breaking. And because, let's see, because in the course list, what do we have in the course list? It should agree with this structure. Name, star, for, published. Nothing to do with title. Maybe we have to add also title for this in subtitle. So in this case, I have to add title because I should have added before title and maybe 30 days of JavaScript in a human way and subtitle, and I may call it a guide to learn JavaScript. I hope you will have patience to just until I put this here, 30 days of Python and a guide to learn.
I think maybe, sorry, I think you should change title to subtitle.
Thanks. That you saved me, it saved my time. Yes, subtitle, yes. And in a couple of lines, we will be done. 30 days of React and learn React. And this is JavaScript. Everyone. By the way, you have this code if you check in the data. A guide to learn. Guide to learn, yes, actually, it's the same thing. And oh no, it's too much. That's okay. JavaScript for everyone, Python for everyone. A guide to learn Python. And finally, we made it. React for everyone. A guide to learn React. Yes, just minor changes enough for us. I think by now it may have, okay, but it's not working yet, but it's okay. We will figure out. Let me just put this to this side. So what am I going to do? Everything is, I don't see any results. So tell me what's the next step I should do?
We need to start the looping, right?
Yeah, but now, yeah, I mean, I don't see anything. So yeah, you should come here and just read your problem, okay? Yeah. So what's the problem? This is warning. Warning is okay. That's not a problem. So this is not a problem. Warning doesn't stop your application working. Unquote error. Yes, that's a crash. Cannot read property. Where? Actually, exactly where is it? So you may not see. You have to see it somehow. Maybe in line bubble. Is it line 10? Let's try line 10 first name. But not there. But anyway, it's related to first name. So as you can see, what we passed course. The name is the name of the our our props is course. Do we have anything here, course? No. So we should say course. Course. And here author is okay actually, because but we didn't pass here the author. Even we don't have to destructure, so we can pass author as in just author here. And no need to destructure it here, but we can destructure it where? Here. Then I can destructure it from props.author. And then I don't have to say like this. Okay, do we have any? Yeah, we have some hope. Now, as you can see, it's the different worlds, 30 days of JavaScript, 30 days of Python, 30 days of React, JavaScript for everyone, Python for everyone, React for everyone. Yeah, so, but there is a problem here. And then we will also go through each code step by step. How many components do we have first? Let's just study the skeleton. How many components do we have now? Two components. One is the courses. The courses hold each course. Then how all this comes? Because I loop through the course, the repos. We have 6. I map them and I inject to every list or array this component. And at the same time, I passed them the data for each and the author for each. And then this has been extracted out. Okay, from course, get everything. Even now, you can structure it again like course from props dot course. And from course, guys, you can just destructure it internally as a title and the year if you want. And then even you don't have to need this line. And then maybe year, and we don't need also, and it just comes here from there. I think course is not like that. And even if we want it from one-liner, we can do it also from one-liner. But I think in this case, we can't do it in one-liner because props.author, props.course.
Sorry, I want to ask something.
Yes.
Please, at what point you import the repos from a course list?
Here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then at which point you start to use it?
Here. When I'm injecting it to the render, it is here. So in the courses, component, then we access it here. If you props.courses gives me, if you have seen it, I will show you that. What did we do wrong? Okay, there's something wrong. Let's fix that. Title, where is it? Read property for undefined title anyway. So let's course. Props.course. Yeah, because it's not like that, because props course is, it's just this is enough. One is enough. Yeah, this is enough. Okay, as you can see, all these unquotes, I think it's from the previous. And then we will talk about this, the warning. Yeah, I will show you guys step by step. Now let's do it all over again. Okay.
And what about this map
Yeah.
method where you loop through, not loop, but you like process the list of courses and produce a list of components?
Yeah, I think I'm coming to that. Just give me some time, okay, guys? I will just show you everything all over again, okay? Forget about this. And also forget about this. And that would be good for me. And again, forget about this, and let me just write H1 here. Is it okay for everyone now?
Yeah.
No doubt. Are you sure, everybody?
Yes.
Great. Now, everybody, we import the course here. So let's see if we have it. Courses, courses. We have it. Have you seen it?
Okay, yeah.
Great. Now let's create a component and let's call this const courses. The component name is going to be courses. I will be a bit faster. Yes, and let's also instead let's return. I call H1 and let's call it courses. And instead of JSX, I can return that courses. Are you happy still, guys?
Yeah.
We have this, we just return it. Nothing is happening, guys. I tell you, nothing is happening. But let's see, let's write props. I told you that props is available, just globally available argument in React. So let's try to print the props we have here. Oh, empty, right? Oh, yeah. But how about if we say courses, as in, and then if we inject the courses we import. Now I am injecting it. And actually, this is not anymore empty. 49, it's not anymore empty. If you go, it would be line 49. Maybe, I don't know why I don't see 49. Anyway, it doesn't tell properly. Okay, it's coming from here. So it's populated. Have you seen? Great. Then instead of like saying courses, how many courses do we have here? Let's see the number of courses we have. Actually, it's easy. We can say instead, let's just change that to a div, courses. And instead of just courses, I can say, so I have to say courses dot, actually I have to say props dot courses dot repos dot length. Now this should give me, what did I make wrong?
Courses is missing S.
Yeah. Yes, 6 courses. This tells something, right, guys? Okay, then how about if I map this part? If this is the part, let's map it. Const list course list, and I map it using map dot map, and I can just course. I have a title, and I just don't need any kind of, just I can use a list, list is enough for me. From course, I am interested in the title, guys. And then let's close the list. Yeah, this is good enough. But why didn't, what is forgotten him.
Yeah, list is not closed yet. Yeah.
Yes, great, thank you. Then, as you can see now, maybe it's a good idea to use your list, and then inside I can just inject the course list and you will see everything. Oh yeah, what do you think about that? This is what we've been doing. Okay. Okay, but I was now interested only in what? Only in the title, and I used just this. But if you are interested in mainly the data, so you can still use div, and you have to close the div, and we can extract more data out. So instead this, let's just call it h1, and then the second it's going to be h2, and of course you know it, subtitle, and you know it, year, course, year, yes, and we've been using this small, yes, and we've been using this h2. Yeah, as you can see, it seems that now we are getting it, and we forgot the author. Let's do some respect for the author too, author, and okay. Of course, no, actually, what was, how, yeah, actually from, okay, no, so the way we get, let's see, courses, I have to see the, yeah, first I have to close this, and I have to back to the console and see how our props data structure looks like. Courses, yeah. But before the courses, it should be the props, author, and repost. But where, at what line is that? Maybe I think I should remove this out. Not to be confused. Yeah, this is the courses. In that the courses we have actually courses.author. Great. So here we can say props.courses.author.first name should give us the first name of the person. Huh? What's happening?
Opening curly brace, yeah.
Yes. So yeah, that we got the first name of the person, and if you are interested in the last name and you do the last name and time is flying and we didn't go, so we're not going to have the second break. But the problem is I was so lazy that I just repeat my first name again, and you saw, yeah, this is what we had. But now the thing is, as you can see, now this code is not a clean code. So this part of the code can be a separate component. We can make this another component, and we can call it, we made it already here, course. Okay, yeah, but since we make this already, we don't need this one. So this should be something like this. And then instead of doing that, we don't need this. What we do is actually course. And then we just, from here, you can pass course as in course. And the course will be what? Oh, I forgot here. And the course will be destructured, but I didn't pass the author yet. Author, how did we extract the author? Props dot courses dot, I think, author, right? This is what we got. Yeah, and then that's enough. That is what we got. Now I have to put it in one side. But as you can see, there is some warning courses. Yeah, so let's remove key, because whenever we render, we have to pass a key, and that key, let me show you. Maybe we can use most of the time, if the data comes from a database, it may have a unique ID. We make use of that unique ID. For the time being, we don't have, I can use just the title or the subtitle as in a key, and it's okay. So how do I create that? Just here, key, and then I can say course.title can be used as in a key, and I'm fine for that. And let's see now, by now, we don't have any kind of warning. Hey, warning, where are you? There's no warning, thank you. Yes. Yeah, now we are left with 10 minutes. And with that, we have to talk about class name. Yeah, with class name, we make this look very beautiful. Okay, what do you think? Do you get this, guys? Of course, you should really watch this all over again a couple of times. It really helps you. This is mandatory to watch. So we don't need this. We have done it again. We repeated it. And we don't need to do that. But maybe let's also clean our code again, because this is a bit too long. So we can do something like this. Const courses, and from where? Props dot, from props. Yeah, then we can do this. And then again, if you have seen here, author, so we can do this. But still we can do one step if we want. But I think this is okay. It may confusing for you. I don't have to go down. In this case also, you can destructure actually from here, even without. So what's props means actually? Props means author and course. And then even you don't have to have here props, and you can do it here like this. And of course, you have to be sure that still your function is working. Yeah. So as you can see, even we can destructure when we passing it as in a parameter, the props itself. So this is somehow directly related to the JavaScript lesson we covered, the last, the 7th or the 6th. So guys, you may go back and also have a look at the destructuring lesson. It's so powerful and very important. Yes, now let's talk about class name. Guys, we've never talked about style, by the way. How do we style? I want to give border for these guys. How do I give border? Style, okay. This is how we give style. Style, like this, an object. Then you may say color, rate, so easy to look at, yeah? So by now, everything should be red, but that's not what you want, right? But let's change this to actually a border. And if I change the border, and let's see 2 pixels solid, and maybe just black. Black is good. And it might be something like this. Okay. So as you have seen, if you don't pass any parameter for this, usually it's just a black for a border. Yeah. So now we are using style as in CSS object, or maybe you can take this out. No, don't do that. You can write it outside like this, const and stylus. So as you can see, it's plural, and just inject it here like styles. And then you can write it whatever. For instance, I can see that there is no margin. I want it to have a margin, right? Margin top, maybe 5 pixel, and then auto. I don't want anything. So if you see now, we should have some kind of, yeah. And now let's add some padding. Padding is so awesome, right? Padding. If you don't have a padding, it looks strange. Let's have top, maybe like I want to have 30 pixel top, and maybe left and right, maybe 20 pixel. And let's see what we get. Now maybe somehow okay. What do you think? It looks like actually a proper course now. Yeah? So maybe you might be interested in border radius. Border radius, as you can see, it should be a camel case. CSS property should be camel case. Border radius, let's give it 5 pixel. Oh, what? Border radius? Yeah, I forgot the comma. Now, as you can see, yeah, maybe that is too much. Maybe a 3 looks very natural. Yes. And we forgot the year for some reason, or for some reason we don't see year here, or our object may not have year. Oh, published. Actually, have you seen? It's not year. It should be published. Okay. So how do we destructure it? When we destructure here, published. And then again here, published. Oh, it's somewhere else. Please don't go somewhere else. Just stay in here. I don't know. Okay. Okay, that's what I want. Yeah, so now as you can see, it looks some kind of a card, right?
Yep.
It looks like a kind of a card. Now you may see that the power of React, the power of component, the power of reusability. We just made one component and we made use it for 1 million users. So the reason why your profile picture looks exactly the same because they use components, reusable components. Your profile, your Facebook profile or LinkedIn or whatsoever profile you have is exactly the same as your connection or your followers or friend. Yeah. So what we didn't cover today, but before that, let's go further on this styling. Okay, let's make this style look good. So somehow, how about if we want some change between, maybe we want a different background, you know, for instance, if I'm interested in some background color, background color. By the way, you can also give a color here, a style, you can, but now let's focus only on this JavaScript object style. You can give a different style for different, but in that case, if you pass it as in a property, what do I mean by that? Let me show you. Okay, styles. This is the common style, but maybe background. So I have to have courses. Where's the course? Yeah, here, the course. Here in the course, we should have some kind of, yeah, that's strange actually. We have to have from the data or some kind of a way to do that. So that's it needs a change in the data structure. So it would be a bit tricky. but it's still possible to give them a different color. Yes, and also different background. It's just the limit is the sky's the limit, as they say. It's really possible to do almost anything you want with the component, and the data can be dynamic. I think so. Maybe this is not the only way you can do. How about if we are not interested to use this kind of style? You can use class name, and you give it a class. Instead of class, it should be class name, because the name class in React is reserved for class components. So we call it this a course. Then you can avoid this. That's crazy. You can avoid this kind of styling, and you can use instead something else. I can take this and let me change it to the style, yeah, this style. Then as you can see, just what was the name?
Dot class. Yeah.
So then border, that's okay. You remove this and then you change it to this margin, 5 pixel auto, and again semicolon, and then padding, and again you do this, and radius, you have to have the hyphen instead, because that is how CSS property looks like in a style sheet. Yes, my pronunciation of sheet doesn't sound good. I'm just a bit okay, good anyway. But border, why? I was so course. What was the name? Course. Oh, strange.
Doesn't the class name start with small c?
Yeah, it should be small c here.
No, maybe this class name, class name.
Oh yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yes. Okay, so we did the same. So that's the very beginning of the class name and class name and style. So I think we finished at the right time. And let's
Sorry, you
yes.
said something last time. How is it possible to give each column or each row with a different background?
Okay.
Background color.
Well, okay, it's possible. It depends on some logic. For instance, okay. So there should be some logic. For instance, the logic could be from the data. The data may have a background. Background color. Background color green. And this one. And this one. Right. And the rest will be also whatever green, just to show you, okay? But you don't have to even, okay. I will show you at the same time something to show you. Then now, where are we? Props here, actually, we have to also pass a background color. Then you have to say background, you may say courses, but where is that? You have to see the data structure, all over again, from title and whatsoever. Okay, title. So it's inside the course. Background, courses, dot, yeah, background. But this doesn't say courses, right? Yeah, now it says courses. So now instead we can override here style, background, and then I think I destructured it quite a lot here. So maybe I have to also destructure the background. Yeah, please come. Okay, nothing happens. Yeah, because I didn't finish this. Maybe I can just even leave it like that. Okay, nothing happened. That is surprising, but what I can do first, I have to check what I have here, console.log, background. But also at the same time, maybe I made a mistake. Background. Is this right? For me, it doesn't sound like ground is not right, properly written, but that must be much of a problem. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, but let's see what I have here.
Maybe background should be destructured with like title, subtitle, and the like.
Where?
Very destructured, like title, subtitle, and background.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It has to be structured here. Background. Yeah. As you can see now, you have a different background. Then, so you have to design your data structure such kind of, now you may even understand when to use dynamic style and dynamic and style sheet. This kind of things, the data and the style has to be dynamic. Even we can make a user to save this color. For instance, I can change my profile color, background, and everything and make it safe. But if the developer already made that schema, it's possible only if the developer made it that way, okay? So now we are almost making it that way because the color is already part of the data structure. But it's not this way. Now the styles almost become part of the data structure, but we can also make a kind of temporary color by randomization or something. There will be a lot of things, but randomization is something you can't you can't guess because it varies every time, and that's very confusing. I think we should wrap up the course here. How was your learning? I think I have to stop. I hope you enjoyed the lesson today, and I have to stop it here.